Close your eyes for a second. 2 million people dressed in identical white cloth, shoulder to shoulder under a blazing desert sun. The air thick with prayer, a single supplication echoing off marble walls. No one here is rich or poor, no king or commoner. For these few days, everyone is equal before God. Now open your eyes, because surrounding this ocean of devotion is a $12 billion machine. 5-star hotels towering over the holy site. Luxury suites where one night costs more than some pilgrims spend on their entire journey. An airport processing more passengers in one season than some countries see in a year. This is the Hajj, where faith and economics collide in ways that defy every rule you have ever read. The tension between those two worlds, that is what makes this story worth telling. The pilgrimage itself is over 1,400 years old, but the economy powering it was engineered in just the last few decades. In the 1970s, fewer than 1 million pilgrims made the journey. Today, that number exceeds 2.5 million during the 5 ritual days alone, with tens of millions more arriving for Umrah throughout the year. To put that in perspective, the FIFA World Cup draws about 3.5 million visitors across an entire month in a different country each time. Hajj matches that scale in a single city, in a single week, every single year. The Ministry of Hajj and Umrah orchestrates the whole operation: visas, crowd flows, transport, emergency response. Every pilgrim follows a precise sequence of rituals across multiple sacred sites: the Grand Mosque, the plains of Arafat, the stoning of pillars at Mina. One misstep in coordination and the consequences are not bad review, they are human lives. But here is where the sacred story takes a sharp commercial turn. Each pilgrim spends $3,000 to $10,000 on the journey. Packages bundle flights, hotels, transport, meals, and guides through licensed operators. On the budget end, you sleep in dormitory rooms kilometers from the holy sites. On the premium end, you gaze down at the Kaaba from a private suite with a personal chef. Think about that. A pilgrimage built on the idea that all believers stand equal before God now offers luxury tiers. The contradiction is quiet, but it is real. And then there is the quota system, which changes everything. The Saudi government caps how many pilgrims each nation can send, calculated by population. On one level, this is crowd safety. On another, it is manufactured scarcity. Would demand look the same if anyone could simply book a flight and show up? Almost certainly not. The cap transforms Hajj from an open religious duty into one of the most exclusive tickets on earth. Wait lists in some countries stretch over a decade. That scarcity is not a side effect, it is a feature. And it hands Saudi Arabia pricing power that most businesses would sacrifice almost anything to possess. Economists call this inelastic demand, meaning price changes barely affect how many people want to come. In plain language, you could double the cost tomorrow and the line would barely shrink. People are not buying a vacation. They are fulfilling a once-in-a-lifetime spiritual obligation. That distinction rewrites every normal rule of supply and demand. Now follow the money, because the numbers rival entire national economies. Direct Hajj revenue lands between $8 and $12 billion annually. The Summer Olympics, by comparison, typically generates around $6 billion for a host city and only comes once. Hajj does this every year. Hotels in Mecca run at near total capacity, with rates jumping several times above off-season prices. Over 100,000 rooms fill those towers overlooking the Grand Mosque, and for chains like Hilton, Marriott, and Accor, these are among their most profitable properties anywhere in the Middle East. Jeddah's airport handled over 20 million passengers during the 2023 pilgrimage seasons, with thousands of added flights. For local street vendors, shop owners, and taxi drivers, these few weeks often account for the majority of their yearly earnings. Over 200,000 temporary workers get hired for security, catering, and logistics. The ripple extends globally too. Factories across Pakistan, India, and Indonesia produce millions of ihram garments. Catering operations serve millions of halal meals daily. Translators work in over 15 languages. The Mecca Chamber of Commerce estimates every rial spent generates 3 to 4 rials in wider activity, meaning each dollar a pilgrim spends creates 3 or 4 more circulating through the economy. That cascading effect is why Vision 2030 aims to push religious tourism from 18 million visitors to 30 million. Saudi Arabia is not leaving this to chance. Billions have gone into infrastructure designed to feel invisible. The Haramain high-speed rail links Mecca, Medina, and Jeddah in 2 hours. Air-conditioned tent cities in Mina house hundreds of thousands. AI monitors crowd density in real time. Apps guide pilgrims through rituals in their own language. Every improvement serves a dual purpose. Comfort today means return visits tomorrow, and every returning Umrah pilgrim extends revenue far beyond those 5 days of Hajj. But step back and you see something larger. Hajj is Saudi Arabia's most powerful diplomatic instrument, hosting 2 million people from over 180 countries every year, projects competence, modernity, and spiritual authority simultaneously. No advertising campaign, no sovereign wealth fund, no sports deal comes close to that soft power. It is influence earned through execution, repeated annually, witnessed by the Muslim world. So where does this go next? The fundamental tension remains. How do you grow an economy anchored to a geography that cannot expand? The rituals require specific sacred spaces. You cannot build a second Mecca. The likely path forward is expanding Umrah year-round, layering premium experiences at escalating price points, and building digital and service ecosystems around the pilgrimage. But every step toward commercialization risks brushing against the very thing that makes Hajj untouchable, its spiritual purity. And maybe that is the real lesson here. The Hajj economy works not because Saudi Arabia invented demand. It works because the demand was always there, written into the faith of 1.8 billion people, unshakable across centuries. Guaranteed customers who will never stop coming, a supply that can never be duplicated, total control over delivery. Most companies spend billions trying to manufacture a fraction of that loyalty. Saudi Arabia inherited it. The challenge was never creating the market. It was deciding how far to push it without breaking what made it sacred. When faith meets economics, the rules change. And whoever controls that intersection does not just set prices, they shape the world.